It's the 1930s. The world is still licking its wounds from World War I. Countries are broke, people are angry, and in the shadows, ambitious leaders rise. In Italy, Benito Mussolini dreams of reviving the Roman Empire. In Japan, military leaders hunger for an Asian empire. And in Germany, humiliated by defeat and crushed by the Treaty of Versailles, a fiery man named Adolf Hitler promises to restore pride and power. The stage is set. In 1939, Hitler makes his move. He invades Poland, and suddenly Britain and France declare war. The world is plunged into chaos once again. Blitzkrieg, lightning war, sweeps across Europe. Denmark, Norway, Belgium, the Netherlands. And then France. All fall like dominoes. By 1940, Nazi Germany stands triumphant over the continent. But one island refuses to bow: Britain. In the skies over London, the Battle of Britain rages. German bombers rain fire, yet the Royal Air Force holds firm. Winston Churchill tells his people, "We shall never surrender," and Britain becomes the last light in a dark Europe. Meanwhile, across the world, Japan strikes. On December 7, 1941, the U.S. naval base at Pearl Harbor is attacked. In a single morning, America is jolted into the war. Franklin Roosevelt calls it a date which will live in infamy, and the United States joins the Allies. Now it is truly a world war. The conflict spreads to North Africa, where desert battles rage. In the Soviet Union, Hitler launches Operation Barbarossa, the largest invasion in history. German armies storm deep into Russia, but winter and the fierce resistance of the Red Army bring disaster. The tide begins to turn at the Stalingrad in 1942-43, where an entire German army is destroyed. It is the beginning of the end for Hitler. On January 18, 1943, Soviet forces broke through German lines south of Lake Ladoga. The siege of Leningrad was finally lifted. November 28 to December 1, 1943, the Tehran Conference brought Roosevelt, Churchill, and Stalin together for the first time. They agreed to launch D-Day. "1944 brings a moment of destiny. D-Day. On June 6th, Allied forces stormed the beaches of Normandy, France. It is the largest seaborne invasion in history, and it cracks open Hitler's fortress Europe. From west and east, the Allies close in on Germany. On July 17, 1944, the Soviet Red Army crossed into Poland, pushing back German forces. It marked the beginning of Poland's liberation. And on August 25, 1944, Paris was liberated. After France was liberated in August 1944, the Allies pressed on. Belgium and Luxembourg were freed within weeks as German forces retreated. By September, much of the Netherlands was in Allied hands, though the North would wait until 1945. To the south, American troops crossed into Italy, pushing the Germans back through the rugged mountains. Step by step, Western Europe was breaking free from Nazi rule as the Allies closed in on Germany itself. In April 1945, Soviet troops storm Berlin. Hitler, refusing to surrender, takes his own life in his bunker. Soon after, Germany surrenders. Victory in Europe, VE Day, is declared. The nightmare is over, in Europe at least. But the Pacific War rages on. Japan fights ferociously, refusing to surrender. Then, in August 1945, a new weapon is unleashed, the atomic bomb. Hiroshima is destroyed. Days later, Nagasaki. Faced with unimaginable destruction, Japan finally surrenders. World War II has ended. When the dust settles, the toll is staggering. Over 60 million dead, nations in ruins, and the world forever changed. Out of the ashes, two superpowers rise, the United States and the Soviet Union. The stage is set for a new conflict, the Cold War,